Unless I am much mistaken. We have cause to visit a place not far from here.
The decision of which task to prioritize is the Arisen's to make.
Gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay.
There's a ladder here.
Ah, excellent find.
Now, listen close, and your focus apply to this tale of a giant who touches the sky. Our hero, oft forgotten by history in spite of his worth, awoke one fell morning to rumbling earth. In a panic he started, out the front door he leapt, to behold what had approached a night as he slept. 'Twas a mysterious figure, but be it friend or foe, on shaking legs did he approach, the better to know. Yet he did not get near.
I overheard some of the soldiers standing guard outside the palace discussing a curious rumor.
Regarding the Queen Regent and an important personage, you mean?
Indeed. Some suppose there is more to her relationship with this Batali dignitary than is publicly known.
One thing was certain. Should it walk upon that...
Look, Master, a treasure chest. We shall have to find a way to reach it.
So he challenged his Ingress with
What do you think? Does this suit me?
Gather round. Treat your ears to a tale.
Aye, got some coin to spare your humble storyteller? What would you of me? I'll have no trouble, thank you.
What do you think? Does
I always have a warm welcome for a customer.
Gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soak my...
Welcome to Bjorn's Armory, and quality's what you need if you want to survive. So hope to see you again.
Good day, sir.
Gather round.
I'd heard tell of a beggar doing well for himself, so I came out here to learn his ways. But it's clear this storytelling's got little to do with his wealth. So where's he get his coin, then? Makes a man wonder, it does. Could be he's involved in something untoward, eh?
What do you want?
Gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller.
These writings could be of import.
Let's have a look then.
Interested in my wares?
Time for an early supper. Well then, son. Must you run so fast? I can hardly keep you in my sights, Arisen.
Let us endeavor to keep up, though we are less fleet of foot.
Time to head to market, methinks.
There are useful ingredients to be gathered here, I'll wager.
No harm in picking a few.
Well met, sir. Forgive my presumption, but were you the one who gave my granddaughter that medicine in Melv? I thought so. She's not stopped talking of her adventure since she arrived home. You have my sincerest thanks for aiding her. That girl's always running off on some fool's errand or other, for all my chiding. Once she gets an idea under her bonnet, there's simply no talking her out of it. Now listen, 'tisn't much, but I'd fain offer you a discount on my wares. Pray, make good use of it, won't you?
You're always such fun to talk to.
That looks promising. Any ideas as to how we might reach it?
Mayhap I ought to ask around town. Hail, friend! Have you a spare moment? I've an eye for people, and my instincts tell me you're of trustworthy ilk. I'm in a bit of a quandary, you see. I'm to be gone for a week, with no one slated to mind the house in my stead. Fear not, I only ask your name to list as a tenant. You needn't bother yourself with the cleaning, and I don't expect you to stay cooped up in there neither. I'd be much obliged if you'd simply consider my home a waypoint on your travels. Sound appealing? Then come on by and have a look-see. I've taken the liberty of marking the location on your map.
My head hurts just thinking about it.
Oh, it's not right. It doesn't make any sort of sense. The doctor examined him afore and said he'd be better with a bit of medicine. Yet e'er since he came here, he's only gotten worse.
I understand how you must feel. But you must see that your son's health continues to wane. There is no medicine that can heal him outright. He requires proper treatment. I am caring for him as best I can. I beg only for your patience. However, if you truly cannot entrust him to me, perhaps you would care to take him home with you instead. Mayhap convalescing in a place familiar to him would aid his recovery. Of course, I would be sure to visit him as oft as I am able.
Home, you say?
Dear, we are pressed enough as 'tis.
All right, he stays. But pray bring my son back to health.
I will look after him. I swear it.
Let me get that.
My wares, day of rest.
'Tis no more or less than what one might have expected.
We cannot expect gleaming treasures round every corner.
Figured I had to thank you somehow.
Sir, ought you not be in... Ah, forgive me. You're not a patient, are you? I suppose you must be a visitor. 'Tis a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Eleanor. I have the privilege of serving as abbess here. I regret that I cannot offer you a cup of tea, but I'm in the middle of making my rounds of the patients. Not to mention, I have to find the means to procure more medicinal ingredients. Oh. You wouldn't happen to know someone willing to brave the roads, would you? I know 'tis perilous, but there is one ingredient in particular we cannot afford to run out of. You would procure it yourself? I am grateful beyond words, sir. In that case, might I trouble you to bring me some miasmite? The slums are a bane to the body's humors, and its residents are oft prone to illness. We do what we can with what little we have, but we're always short on helping hands. Your aid is most appreciated, sir. May your search prove fruitful.
Tell is, miasmites can be harvested from phantoms. Monsters that wander the world a night.
Yes, sir. Ah, forgive me. I had assumed you were here to bring me some miasmite, as we discussed. If that's not the case, you will have to excuse me. There's much to be done, and too few hands to do it.
I keep feeling ice in the back of my head.
Wish I could go on an adventure.
I don't like it here. I want to go home.
I don't know what to do. If it were up to me, I'd never leave.
This ladder looks sturdy enough to climb.
Perhaps new discoveries await us above.
Might as well take a look while you're here, eh?
Well met, sir.
Interested in my wares? Bones grow weary.
Gather round! Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller.
Well met, sir.
Living's hard, but
I'm dead on my feet, but I've much to do yet.
if it were up to me, I'd never leave.
What's
Mayhap I'll
Just
see
take it
how
easy,
I
eh?
do.
My knees are acting up.
Might try my hand at a new trade.
Time to head to market, methinks.
You're worrying. You aren't living, I say.
Invited yourself into my...
This is generally used as a material.
Different combinations of materials result in different creations.
Have we purchased all that we require? We ought to review the contents of our packs just to be sure.
Rejoice, my darling, for your Albert is returned.
Welcome home, dear.
I spend my days spinning yarns, only to come home to a wife for whose radiance I have no words. If there is a more fortunate fool in the city, I have yet to meet him.
Oh, you bold-faced flatterer.
Ingredients are plentiful hereabouts.
Shall we see if there's aught to be found while we're here?
What would you of me? I'll have no trouble, thank you.
Interested in... my wares?
All this hustle and bustle puts me right.
How vast the sea is.
I imagine we would not escape a plunge into the water's depths. Yes, Master. I shall hasten to your aid. You are in need of healing. Allow me. Wait a moment.
Life's been pretty kind for me.
This is where my luck runs out. A hard day's work is too.
Whatever it is, I'll have to hear it another time.
Well met. This here's the sanctuary of tipplers and merrymakers alike. I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Not half bad. Go on, have a look. Interested in my wares?
What to make of this?
To neglect proper nutrition.
One can never have too many materials. I'll harvest some now.
Why is my luck so rotten?
If I stay here, I'm here.
Drink is a vice of lesser men.
Got to work. Bread on the table.
Drink is a vice of lesser men.
Go on, have a look.
The hour's grown late. Hilda's going to have my hide.
Wonder if there's any must have taken a wrong turn.
This looks as good a place as any.
Tomorrow will be no different.
All that fuss, and nary a coin to show for it. My bed. Sharp as
My head hurts just thinking about it.
There's a ladder here.
Ah, excellent find.
Right, door's locked. That should do it.
This is most convenient. Another destination we were bound for is not far from here.
Efficiency is not the only factor worthy of consideration.
You've come. Glad to see you, friend. So, what say you? Would you care to live here in my absence? As I've said, you needn't worry about tending to the place. Many thanks, friend. I knew I could count on you. I'll stop by again in a week's time, but till then, farewell.
We will find much better rest in an abode than out in the elements, methinks. Let us make good use of it while we can.
Right you are.
Some call it cultured, I call it dull.
This is for you, Master. I thought it might come in useful.
Any chance to be alone is a welcome.
May the heavens look kindly upon us.
Finally, some peace and quiet.
So long as I have my own, I shan't complain.
I'll harvest what I can, should it please you.
Coin smells good if you got yourself a den.
I'm not the only one.
There's a ladder here.
Ah, excellent find.
You need a permit to enter Batal, but they've become quite difficult to acquire of late, unless you're a merchant. Mind, rumour has it that it's easier for beastrons to obtain them, perhaps because Batal's more of a beastron nation. That's led to some people acquiring beastron masks, of all things. Seems a bit much, if you ask me. Come to think of it, I've nary a clue as to where one would go to apply for a permit to begin with. Not much going on. What was it I had planned for the morrow?
Master, my heart knows no greater peace than when I am by your side.
Know you of any places for a stolen hour of respite?
What am I to do? I'm lost without those garments. Aye? What do you want?
Here you are, Mark.
I don't believe I've had the pleasure, sir. Have we some business I'm unaware of? You mean to tell me that Albert has been playing the part of a beggar? That man who would sooner starve to death than lift a finger in the pursuit of honest labor? If this is a jest, it is in very poor taste. All the same, I shall test the truth of your accusation, and who better to make it plain for us than Albert himself? I will place these clothes somewhere about the house. If he has aught to hide, his reaction when he finds them will doubtless be very telling. You may visit us again in a few days' time. Fear not, I have no intention of causing a fuss.